All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep into South Korea.
Yeah.
We've got research articles, firsthand accounts. Think of it like, well, a crash course in what makes South Korea, well, tick.
What's really captured my attention is how South Korea has become, well, a global powerhouse, and really in just a few
That's
decades.
incredible,
We're
right?
talking about a country that was, devastated by war, 70 years ago?
Yeah.
And now look at them leading the way in tech and pop culture and even sustainability.
Yeah, I mean, to understand this meteoric rise, maybe we should rewind a bit. So, expert, can you maybe set the stage for us? Like, what is that historical backdrop that really shaped modern South Korea?
Sure. So South Korea's history, it goes back thousands of years.
Yeah.
Dynasties, kingdoms, rising and falling, leaving behind all these different cultural influences. But I think the modern story, it really begins with the Korean War in the 1950s.
Right.
A country divided, devastated, had to rebuild from, well, practically nothing.
So how did they go from like post-war devastation to, this economic miracle?
And that is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
They adopted this model of export-oriented growth, focusing on industries like shipbuilding, electronics, automobiles.
Huh.
The government played a key role, supporting these industries, but I think it was really the hard work and that entrepreneurial spirit of the Korean people that drove their success.
It's that Ppalli-Ppalli mentality we've read about,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It
Okay.
translates to hurry, hurry, but it's more than just a phrase. It reflects this deep cultural value of efficiency, speed,
Yeah.
and this relentless drive to get things done.
That makes sense. It explains how they were able to, build themselves up so quickly.
Hmm.
And speaking of building, let's talk about Seoul, the capital city. What kind of vibe do we get from the sources on Seoul?
Seoul is it's like a microcosm of South Korea's journey. You've got ancient palaces like Gyeongbokgung, UNESCO World Heritage Site standing side by side with skyscrapers, bustling shopping districts like Myeongdong.
So it's that classic blend of ancient and modern.
Absolutely. And that duality, I think it's reflected in every aspect of Seoul life, from the food to the fashion to the art scene.
Okay, so let's talk food.
Yes.
I'm always up for a culinary adventure. What are some of the must-try dishes in Seoul that our sources are raving about?
Well, you can't go to Seoul without experiencing Korean BBQ.
Oh, come on.
Think sizzling samgyeopsal, grilled pork belly, wrapped in lettuce with a dollop of samjang spicy paste.
Oh, okay, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
But what about something maybe a little bit more everyday? What do like regular Seulites eat?
Well, kimchi is a staple.
Right.
You'll find it everywhere, from street food stalls to high-end restaurants.
Now, we've heard that kimchi is more than just a side dish. It's practically a national treasure, right?
It's true. Kimchi is ingrained in Korean culture. It's a symbol of their resourcefulness, their ability to transform simple ingredients into something, well, complex and delicious. And, like the Korean people, it's got a bit of a kick.
I love that analogy. Like the kimchi itself represents the Korean spirit.
Hmm.
But let's move beyond Seoul for a bit. Our sources also mention Jeju Island.
Oh, yes.
What makes this island so special?
Jeju Island is like a breath of fresh air. It's a getaway from the hustle and bustle of the mainland. It's volcanic with, stunning natural beauty, beaches, waterfalls, lava caves, you name it, they've got it.
Okay, so we've got the modern metropolis of Seoul. We've got the natural paradise of Jeju Island. What about something for the history buffs? Are there any spots that really capture South Korea's rich past?
Absolutely. And Dong is a city, it's steeped in history and tradition.
Mhm.
And you have the Haho Folk Village. It's a beautifully preserved traditional village. It gives you a glimpse into, Korea's rural past.
It's fascinating how they've managed to preserve these historical treasures
Yeah.
while also embracing modernity.
Hmm.
But let's be honest. When most people think of South Korea these days, they think of K-pop.
Ah, yes, the Hallyu, the Korean wave. It's taken the world by storm.
It has.
And for good reason. K-pop is catchy, it's visually stunning, and the dance routines are, well, unbelievably precise.
I've heard the K-pop groups are incredibly disciplined and hardworking. Is that true?
Absolutely. They train for years, sometimes even a decade, before they debut.
Wow.
It's a grueling process: singing, dancing, language lessons, even media training.
Wow, that's dedication. It explains why they're so successful. It's not just talent, it's sheer hard work and perseverance.
Right.
And it's not just K-pop,
Right.
right? Korean dramas, K-dramas, are also gaining huge popularity worldwide.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
known for, I mean, their compelling storylines, strong characters, and of course, a healthy dose of
Of
romance.
course.
It's incredible how South Korea has managed to, capture the global imagination through their music and
Hmm.
storytelling.
Hmm.
But they're also making waves in other areas like, technology, right?
Right. South Korea is a technological powerhouse.
Hmm.
Companies like Samsung and LG are, well, they're global leaders in electronics, smartphones, and even appliances.
And it's not just about, making cool gadgets, right?
Right.
Their innovation extends to infrastructure and city planning as well.
Exactly. They're pioneers in developing smart cities using technology to, improve efficiency, sustainability, and quality of life for their citizens.
It's inspiring to see how they're embracing the future while also honoring their past.
Yeah.
So we've covered, the historical backdrop, the bustling capital city, the
Mm.
natural beauty, the global pop culture phenomenon, and the technological advancements. What else is there to discover about this dynamic country?
Well, we've only just scratched the surface. In part two, we'll delve deeper into South Korea's global impact, their economic prowess, their diplomatic strategies, and, the challenges they face on the world stage.
Sounds like we're just getting started. So stay tuned, everyone, because there's so much more to uncover about South Korea. Welcome back, everyone. In part one, we trekked through ancient history, navigated the bustling streets of Seoul, and even, got a taste of that famous Korean BBQ.
Yeah, we did. We explored how South Korea, transformed itself from, well, a war-torn nation to a global economic powerhouse and, in just a few generations.
It's pretty amazing. But I'm curious about something. It's clear that South Korea is making its mark on the world.
Right.
But how exactly are they doing that? What's like the secret sauce to their global influence?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it boils down to, a few key factors. First, their economic prowess is undeniable.
Right.
We already talked about tech giants like Samsung and LG,
Right.
but, they're also leaders in other industries like automobiles, shipbuilding, even cosmetics.
Right. I've read that their approach to business is well, it's kind of unique.
Yeah.
It's this blend of government support and private sector, hustle.
Exactly. The government has strategically nurtured key industries, providing incentives, promoting exports, while the K-balls, these family-controlled conglomerates,
Yeah.
they've been incredibly aggressive in, pursuing global markets.
So it's a bit like a national team effort
Yeah.
with the government setting the stage and the private sector kind of, running the play.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
And, this coordinated effort, well, it's led to some pretty impressive results.
Yeah.
South Korea is now the world's 10th largest economy and a major player in international trade.
Wow. And that economic clout must give them, some serious leverage on the world stage, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. South Korea has become a key player in international diplomacy, advocating for, peace, security, and economic cooperation.
Yeah.
They've been actively involved in, mediating conflicts, providing humanitarian aid, and promoting sustainable development goals.
So they're not just focused on their own success, they're actively trying to make the world a better place.
Precisely. They understand that global challenges require global solutions and, they're willing to step up and be a part of those solutions. And, it's not just talk.
Right.
They're backing it up with, concrete actions.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, they've been strong proponents of, renewable energy and green technology. In fact, they're aiming to be carbon neutral by 2050, which is, well, a pretty ambitious goal.
Yeah, it is.
They're also leading the way in, smart city development, using technology to create more efficient, sustainable, and livable urban environments.
Wow, that's impressive. It seems like they're really committed to, creating a better future, not just for themselves, but for the whole planet.
That's the sense I get from the research as well.
Yeah.
They're not just thinking about short-term gains. They're taking this, long-term, holistic view of their role in the world.
But let's not forget, they're also operating in a pretty challenging geopolitical environment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with North Korea as their neighbor, things can't can't always be easy.
That's true. The situation with North Korea is a constant source of tension, and uncertainty. It's shaped their foreign policy,
Yeah.
leading them to prioritize strong alliances with countries like the U.S. and maintain a robust defense posture.
So they're walking this tightrope between promoting peace and cooperation on the one hand and being prepared for potential conflict on the other.
Exactly. It's a delicate balancing act. It requires a lot of diplomatic skill.
And I imagine it also influences their relationship with other countries in the region, like China and Japan.
Definitely. They have to, navigate these complex regional dynamics while also pursuing their own, national interests.
It sounds like South Korea is playing a multi-dimensional game, on the world stage,
Yeah.
balancing economic interests, diplomatic relations, and security concerns. But there must be some challenges that come with this, rapid rise to global prominence, right?
Of course. No country is without its problems, and South Korea is no exception.
Right.
One of the biggest challenges they face is income inequality.
Mm-hmm.
The gap between the rich and the poor has been widening, and, it's creating social tensions.
I've also read about concerns over their education system.
Mm.
It's incredibly competitive and demanding, and some say it's putting too much pressure on young people.
That's another valid point. The pressure to succeed academically is immense. And it can, take a toll on mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are, the environmental challenges that come with rapid industrialization.
So it seems like even with all their success, South Korea is still facing some tough issues that need to be addressed.
Absolutely. But I think it's important to acknowledge that they're aware of these challenges.
Yeah.
And they're actively working to find solutions. They've implemented policies aimed at reducing income inequality, promoting work-life balance, and, protecting the environment.
It's encouraging to hear that they're, not just resting on their laurels, but actively seeking ways to improve and create a more just and sustainable society.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the key takeaways from our deep dive so far.
Yeah.
South Korea is a nation that's constantly striving to learn, adapt, and evolve.
They're not afraid to acknowledge their shortcomings,
Yeah.
and work towards a better future.
And, that spirit of continuous improvement combined with their, resilience, their work ethic, and their openness to new ideas is what makes them such a fascinating and inspiring nation to study.
Well said.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling, so much more informed about South Korea.
Yeah,
But I know we've still got one more part to go.
we do.
What's in store for us in the final chapter of our deep dive? Welcome back to the final part of our South Korea deep dive.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground, from their ancient roots to their global impact.
We have.
But now I'm feeling like something's missing.
I understand. We've analyzed their, economic strategies, their diplomatic moves. But what about, the heart and soul of South Korea? What makes, the people tick? What are their dreams, their values, the things they, hold dear?
Exactly. We got all these facts and figures, but I want to know what it really, feels like to be South Korean. What shapes their worldview? What are they striving for?
That's a fascinating question, and I think it's key to understanding their success.
Yeah.
One thing that jumps out from our research is this profound importance they place on education.
Yeah. We touched on this earlier with, their rigorous academic system and those ultra competitive SKY universities.
Right, but it's more than just getting good grades.
Right.
Education is deeply intertwined with their concept of self-worth, social mobility and national pride. It's seen as this collective responsibility, not just an individual pursuit.
I've also read about their incredible work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
That believe Ppalli spirit we discussed.
Yeah.
Do you think that ties into their educational values?
Absolutely. Ppalli-Ppalli, it goes beyond just, hurry. It's about efficiency, dedication, and a relentless drive to improve.
Right.
Which are all qualities, highly valued in their education system.
It's like they're wired for achievement, both individually and as a nation. But is there a downside to this constant striving. Does it ever feel like too much pressure?
That's a valid point. Our sources suggest that South Korea is grappling with, issues like burnout, mental health concerns, and a growing sense of disillusionment, especially among, younger generations.
So it's like they're realizing that maybe success isn't everything.
Right.
That there needs to be a balance between ambition and well-being.
Exactly. And that's leading to some fascinating cultural shifts. There's a growing movement toward mindfulness, work-life balance, and a rediscovery of traditional values,
Wow.
that emphasize harmony and community.
I'm curious about this blend of tradition and modernity.
Yeah.
We've seen how they've embraced technology and global trends,
Mm.
but how do they hold on to their cultural identity at the same time?
It's a delicate dance. On the one hand, you have, the global phenomenon of K-pop and Korean dramas, which are undeniably modern and outward facing. But at the same time, there's a resurgence of interest in traditional arts, crafts, and even cuisine.
It's like they're trying to find that sweet spot between preserving their heritage and embracing the future.
Precisely. And I think that's one of the most compelling things about South Korea. They're not afraid to experiment, to push boundaries,
Hmm.
but they also understand the importance of their roots.
It's this constant tension between old and new, local and global, that makes them so dynamic and fascinating. But after all this research and discussion, I'm wondering, what can we learn from South Korea? What are the key takeaways you think our listeners should ponder?
I think there are several valuable, lessons here.
Yeah.
First, their story is a testament to the power of human resilience.
Right.
They rebuilt their nation from the ashes of war
Right.
and achieved, incredible economic success in a remarkably short time.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of adversity, there's always hope, always
Yeah.
the potential for transformation.
Absolutely. Second, their commitment to education and continuous improvement is something we can all learn from. They understand that investing in knowledge and skills is crucial for individual and national progress.
And their Ppalli-Ppalli spirit, their drive to get things done is definitely inspiring.
Yeah.
But I think we also have to acknowledge the potential downsides of that relentless pursuit of achievement.
You're right. It's a reminder that we need to find, a healthy balance between work and life, ambition and well-being. And finally, I think South Korea's story teaches us the importance of embracing both tradition and innovation.
It's about finding that sweet spot between preserving our heritage and adapting to the ever-changing world around us.
Exactly. And ultimately, I think that's the essence of the South Korean spirit, a dynamic blend of resilience, ambition, and cultural pride that propels them forward while honoring their past.
Well said. That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into South Korea. We hope you've learned something new, gained a fresh perspective, and maybe even feel inspired to explore this incredible country further. Until next time, keep diving deep.